the Montana Association for the Blind.
Hi, I'm Todd Falstrom. I've been a part of Montana Association for the Blind, Bozeman chapter for the last 7 years. I got involved because I want to be able to connect with people that have the same vision loss that I do, retinitis pigmentosa, and be able to help support them along their journey of vision loss. I currently use a guide dog, but I have also been a cane user as well. And the other tools that I use to be more independent is an iPhone and a computer that talks to me with adaptive software. Over the years, as I progressively have lost my vision, I continue to outreach, network, and connect with others, and I just really enjoy the process of being able to give something to others that they may not have known about. And within my own home, I am married, I have 2 children, and I continue to build into my family the different tools to be able to be allow my family to allow me to be more independent. Other than that, I just truly enjoy engaging with others, doing outreach, and I am currently working as a sight loss instructor. I am doing training through Zoom. I do daily living skills as a teacher, and the company I work for is called Hull Foundation and Learning Center. They're based out of Sandy, Oregon.
Do you feel that M.A.B has made a difference in your life?
It has made a huge difference. So different that I know that my place in Montana right now is to be a part of this organization. I am a leader. I am currently the president of the Bozeman chapter. I build up other leaders, and 2 years ago I was the state president, so I've had leadership skills at the state level as well.
Is there any reason why you would ask somebody that was blind to join the M.A.B?
I would ask them to join, and I do that continuously. They need to know and understand that blindness shouldn't be feared, but rather embraced, and that they should be able to give opportunities to learn from others as they grow into their vision loss.
So what do you see in your future now that you've come this far?
I'm continuing being a teacher. I love teaching daily living skills, being able to network as I continue to develop my sight loss instructor position. I love being able to share resources, and within the organization I hope to be able to continue to build resources to be able to connect with younger folks and get them involved in the organization.
If I'm interested, how can I get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me by going to our website, www.M.A.B.S.O.P.org, and I'm listed under the Bozeman chapter, and I'm Todd Falstrom.
Okay, my name is Christy Small. I've been a member of the Bozeman chapter of M.A.B. since 2016.
How did you find out about the M.A.B?
My mother had macular degeneration, and she was going to meetings, but she didn't drive anymore, so I was driving her to the meetings and helping her out with whatever.
Has the M.A.B changed your life?
It has. I joined in 2016. I had been bringing my mom for about 3 years before that, and just the whole group of friends, and they're like family members. They're very supportive and just a lot of fun.
What tools do you use in your life as a blind person?
Okay, I am still sighted, so I do use tools because I have some mobility issues. I use walking poles, but as far as sight, I wear glasses, and that's about it.
So you don't use any of the assistive technology?
I don't need it at this point.
So then, are you going to go blind eventually?
I have no idea. Macular degeneration is in my family, so if it happens to me, I'll be ready.
So, They call this your honeymoon period because one day the honeymoon will be over. Are you ready when the honeymoon's over?
I hope so. I can only try.
Well, you have a lot of friends and support here. Does that make you feel more comfortable
It does. I know if I ever need the low vision assistance, I know where to find it, and I know people who will help me with it, so.
So where do you see yourself in the future?
Well, I'm a retired nurse, and I plan on staying with M.A.B. as long as possible, and just enjoying life. My daughter-in-law and I bought electric assist tricycles. So we're gonna get out and about on our tricycles with our German Shepherd puppy.
Oh, wow, look out. Have you ever been to the S.O.P?
I visited. My mother went one year, and I visited her for a weekend.
Do you have a Mr. Magoo story?
Not really.
That's fine. So you said you heard about the M.A.B. because your mom had to go?
Right.
And so now you've developed friendships here?
I have. I've developed a very strong set of friends. People I know I can rely on for other things, and people that call me, hey Christy, I can't find a ride, can you come get me? So I still drive, so I do drive for my friends.
So has it changed your life?
It absolutely has. The big change was when I retired in 2013. I was kind of, okay, what do I do now? And then I got hooked up with this group. I was their secretary for 6 years. And I know they always need help with something, so it gives me a purpose.
All right, the last question I have is, why would you invite someone to become a member of the M.A.B?
Well, if someone is struggling with their eyesight, I have a sister-in-law who has macular degeneration, and she is getting to the point where she's just starting to get really frustrated with it. So I have been trying to get her interested in coming to M.A.B. and going to the low vision center. So I try not to push too hard, but I'm not giving up.
Hi, my name is Catherine. I went to S.O.P in 2023, and there are all sorts of wonderful things you could say about this program, like all the different things you learned and how they covered all the bases and how you had the opportunity to learn Braille or do woodshop or crafts or all these things that you wouldn't normally know anything about. But one of the things they will never tell you, because nobody ever thinks about it, is we had so much fun. And most of us agreed that when we're around sighted people, they don't want to laugh if we do something outrageous because we can't see. But we do outrageous things all the time because we can't see. So we had this special event called Mr. Magoo Night, when we told stories about ridiculous things that had happened to us because we couldn't see. And everybody roared. And it was so wonderful to have an audience that wasn't afraid that they were going to offend you. Anyway, that was a wonderful benefit from S.O.P. And of course, we're friends forever after that.
So what is S.O.P? I don't understand.
Well,
What's a S.O.P? Is that something I can buy? I don't understand.
I'm really sorry. S.O.P. is the Summer Orientation Program, which is sponsored by M.A.B. And it happens every year. I think it's been going for like 77 years, although I haven't gone for 77 years.
Yeah.
And
It's summer orientation program.
Yes.
But why do you need to be oriented? I don't understand.
the idea is it's to prepare people to continue living independent lives even though they're losing their vision. So you learn a lot of skills, everything from how to systematically mop the floor so you're not missing large areas to, how to sign checks, which is, it becomes increasingly difficult. But these things, you realize that these things are not insurmountable and that people who have the same visual limitations that you do or worse are functioning perfectly well in everyday life and living independently.
You don't look blind. Why'd you go to S.O.P? What's wrong?
I'm not totally blind. I have limited vision, and I haven't walked into any walls, but I have tripped in some holes. So the other thing that I learned in the summer orientation program was they had an extensive training program in using a white cane, and that has probably saved me from a number of falls because it alerts me to when there's a hole or a curve or something like that, so I don't hurt myself.
Has the M.A.B. changed your life?
Yes, in the sense that it gives me a community to relate to and built-in friends pretty much all over the state. So if I'm having a bad day, I have people I can call, and it's not the anonymous helpline at some organization. It's people I've met and laughed with and been friends with for some time. So yeah, that's helped quite a bit.
So are you gonna go blind?
Yes.
Now that the honeymoon's not over, are you prepared when the honeymoon's over?
Well, I'm kind of taking it one day at a time, because that's, what else do you have? You have one day at a time. I figure if I can get through today's challenges, then when tomorrow comes, I'll deal with tomorrow's challenges. And I probably will not go completely blind, which would be nice. So hopefully I'll retain some usable vision that will help me get through.
Your outlook is so amazing. I somehow you got over the depression of being blind. Did the M.A.B. help you with that?
Yes, because of the companionship.
So on our closing, before we close the interview, is there any reason why you want people to come to the M.A.B.?
So I get more friends.
Okay, I got one more. What is your Mr. Magoo story? I'm dying to hear this.
Oh, this is a really good one. This is before most people knew that I had a vision problem. I was at a health retreat, and one of the things we had to do for a couple of days was we had to take a special powder and mix it with water and drink it. And this was just, it was a health routine that we did. So they had all these rows of glasses lined up, because there were quite a few of us. And some of the glasses were small, and they had a white powder in them about halfway up, and all the glasses were clear plastic. And so there were rows of these little bitty clear plastic ones with this white powder in, and then there were rows of bigger glasses that were empty, and they were also clear. So what you were supposed to do is pick up the little one and dump it into the big one. So I picked up the little one, I dumped it into the big one, and nothing happened. The white powder stayed in the plastic glass. So I thought, this is really weird. Where I come from, if you tip something and there's something horrible in it, it comes out. So I tried it again, same thing, I pick it up, I tip it, and the powder stays in the glass. And I'm standing, I'm sure I had the most puzzled look on my face. Somebody on the line reached around me and pulled off the clear plastic lid, which I could not see, and poured it into the glass for me. So that was and nobody would even crack a smile. They were so concerned that they would embarrass this pathetic blind person, and I was standing there literally with tears running down my cheeks because I was laughing so hard. It was so utterly ridiculous. So that's my best story.
Okay, my name is Christy Eaglehorse, and I have done the S.O.P. twice now, and it has totally changed my life. And I believe in the M.A.B, the Montana Association for the Blind, and I believe in the S.O.P. program immensely because it turned me around. And I guess if I could say this, when I first got to Montana, I was in the deepest, god-awful depression you could ever imagine, because I'm pretty new to losing my vision, and I'm an artist. And when I heard about M.A.B. and then heard about S.O.P. and did the first time around, when I first went to S.O.P., it was like, oh my God, these people get it. They understand me. And I learned that I had a family, that I had friends and people that didn't question what I was seeing or not seeing. And it was like, oh my God, the world just opened up for me immensely. And they got me some clay to play with, because I used to paint. Well, they got me clay to play with. I made a little pony out of the clay, and they started calling me Pony Girl. But when I got home, I found polymer clay, and I'm still playing, and I'm creating beauty again, thanks to S.O.P. and thanks to the M.A.B. And oh, by the way, I just got elected 3rd District Representative, and I'm so excited.
I have 15 American girls.
So, do you have any questions?
Yeah, so we see how this has changed your life. Are you involved with the Indian community?
No, I'm not involved here. I was when I was in California. I am Jilachi and Irish mix. And my late husband was Oglala, Lakota, and Paiute. And we were very active in the native circles there. Since coming here, I have not been, because when I first came here, like I said, I was in the pits. And I'm climbing out now. So one of my goals is to hook up again with the native community here.
And are you aware that a lot of the Indian communities, because of sugar being out of their diet, that a major percentage have gone blind due to diabetes?
Yes.
Do you see yourself maybe helping or engaging with them?
If it's possible down the road, I'm more than happy to. More than happy to.
Wow, okay.
I just need some direction and a little bit of guidance is all I need.
Yeah, and so you're the president now?
No, I'm the 3rd District Representative.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I live in Great Falls. And I moved here because my daughter-in-law was born in Great Falls. And when the kids were grown and gone, she wanted to come back to Great Falls to be near her dad. And I missed him so much, I followed him. And here I am.
yeah. So how did you find the M.A.B?
I started out, I got really, really desperate. And I started out with the blind and low vision services. And that's where I first heard about the M.A.B. was through blind and low vision services, through the gal that was there. And I said, okay, let's check it out. Then I heard about the summer program, and I'm thinking to myself, is that gonna work for me? Well, it's worth a shot, because I can't go on this way. And I'll tell you, when I got there, the first year I did it, I had a fall before I went. And I had sprained my left ankle and my right knee, and I had a boot on the left and a brace on the right, and I used a walker. And I did S.O.P. anyway. I just couldn't do the full orientation and mobility, but they helped me visualize things. And my second trip out, this past time, I'm crossing the street and I'm taking the bus and I'm going where I want to go and I'm doing what I want to do, and I love it.
Yeah, you know, some people that are blind have a fear of getting out the door. It looks like you've overcome your fear. How did you overcome the depression that comes with blindness?
I have to be honest, I do have my bad days still. When I get frustrated, when I'm trying to create a clay piece or something. But I think mostly what turned me around and got me out of that depression was being accepted by other blind folks at M.A.B. and S.O.P. The acceptance and the welcoming and the I'm no longer alone. Because what I felt so isolated and so alone, and my world was so dark. Now my world is full of light, even if I can't perceive it very well.
So, are there any tools that you're using now to help you or assist you in your blindness?
Well, one of the things I'm focusing on is being the best me that I can be. Okay, and doing my best to not let it drag me down, not let it make me bitter. And I'm using my art as a way of expressing my joy. Okay, because I have joy now. And those bad days are getting fewer and fewer and fewer and fewer. And I know that I'm going to reach a point where I'm not going to have those bad days. So, by working with M.A.B. and by being involved with the summer program, that has been the two major things that have helped me beat the depression.
All right. So my last question is, where do you see yourself in the future?
I want to teach again. I used to teach acrylic painting and colored pencil to seniors. I want to be able to teach again. And I want to be able to show people that it doesn't matter what situation you're in, you can still do what you want to do. And I want to be able to be active in my community. I want to be able to, well, I'm getting there, but I want to be able to go where I want to go by myself independently or with friends, whatever. I see myself in the future as being a strong warrior woman to help those that need the help.
All right. So how did you find the M.A.B?
I stopped working in 2007 and was recommended to go see Blind and Low Vision Services in Missoula. Back then it was Del Addis, and he turned me on to the M.A.B. And I went to summer school 2007, the S.O.P program.
And how has the M.A.B helped you?
Tremendously. I got involved. I was a board member in different roles for 10 years, and I am the woodshop instructor for the S.O.P program, and I've been doing that ever since 2008.
And you're not worried that someone's going to cut off their hand or their fingers because they're blind?
No, they're safe. I keep them safe.
And how do you keep them safe? By not letting them use the saw?
No, I showed them how to use it. I unplug it and then show them where to put their hands and do everything safely. And then I'll plug it back in and let them make their first cut ever, and it just blows them away.
So
They just go from there.
So then it's true that blind people can do anything?
In woodshop, yeah.
All right. No, that's wonderful. So where do you see yourself in the future? What do you see yourself doing?
Continuing with the program and working with the summer orientation program.
All right. And have you seen great success out of any of the people you've taught?
Oh yeah.
They're doing 10% off.
Yeah, they're on fire when they leave summer school, just in general.
Do
When
you-
I show them or anyone else.
Do you still keep in touch with some of your students?
Yeah.
And are they doing amazing things with wood?
Not as much as they probably want to because of tools or somewhere they don't have a facility to work with. Because we're in a high school wood shop and there's a lot of good stuff there.
Do you think that maybe this was opening the door for them to explore different venues?
Absolutely, and it also gives them courage to try new things.
All right. So in what ways has the M.A.B changed your life from before to where you are now?
It's a whole nother world, so it's changed my life completely, helping people like myself.
All right. And can you tell everyone your name?
I'm Chris Broadhurst.
Hi, I'm Eileen. I'm with the Bozeman chapter of the Montana Association for the Blind, and I want to encourage every member to think about your friends, your neighbors, your driver, and get one person to join your chapter because I've been a member for 6 years. I am sighted, but I have learned so much about how I can be helpful, and you need to bring in some of these other folks too.
So then why did you go to the M.A.B?
I had a friend who was low vision.
And did you notice something different that the M.A.B has done for your friend?
Oh, incredibly. It's really helpful when you realize you aren't the only person with a particular challenge. And so there's a lot of friendships formed and encouragement.
Did your friend grow?
Oh, yes.
did your friend not only grow but got rid of their fear or inhibitions? Were they more outgoing after becoming a member?
Well, my friend had been a member of M.A.B long before I was introduced and had overcome many barriers and not let a negative or victim mindset slow this person down.
So when did your bias go away?
Which bias?
Your ignorance toward the blind.
I'm still learning.
So the next question I have to do is there a reason why you want someone to bring a sighted person
Yes.
to the M.A.B?
Yes, because a sighted person can give rides, count ballots, guide you places, read signs that don't have braille. They can just be a friendly assistant.
Yeah, we call you guys sighties, right?
I didn't. That's okay.
Yeah, we call ourselves blindies. So then, obviously, you're telling us that it would be advantage, or there's an advantage having people that can see, because we can't do everything, and so you're employing people to come because they can volunteer and help. Why? Why help?
Well, what I see is those friends they're going to wonder why they should come since they are sighted. And so you're going to have to figure out how to just say, hey, you're my friend, come check this out, because they don't know what they don't know.
So this question has to do with you. Has it changed your life helping the blind?
I've always really cared about people, so I don't know if it's necessarily changed my life, but obviously I've learned a lot.
So then, obviously, how did this enrich your life?
Just more helping people.
All right. We want to thank you now because you're such a blessing. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we close the interview?
Thank you.
Right. My name is Judy Neely. I have been legally blind my entire life with Stargardt's disease. I lived without any kind of training or awareness or eye doctors until about 15 years ago, and I needed some adaptive equipment to be able to read. The person that was my vocational rehab person, I don't know what his name, said, you ought to go to summer orientation program, some S.O.P. And I says, I don't need an orientation. I've been blind all my life. I've learned to do everything I want to do for myself. He says, try it. So I tried it, and I was wowed by a lot of things. I was wowed by being exposed to other people with visual impairment that I had never been in my entire life. I was wowed by the fact that I could learn new things. So much so that after I was a student, I wanted to come back to the school again. So I called the director and I said, I'll come back and work for free, I'll volunteer, I'll do anything you want, I just want to experience the love that I felt at the school. So she put me on as a helper to a class that there was no position before, and I've been in the summer orientation program as a staff member for, about 15 years now. I've taught different classes as I'm going along, and I just love being with the blind community and meeting other people who are either newly losing their sight or floundering in their life with their sight loss. It's a real high to be around other blind people, and be able to give them the knowledge that they need to kickstart their lives again.
So then, are you prepared now? Because they say that if we're losing our sight, we're in our honeymoon period. Are you prepared when the honeymoon's over?
Prepared for a total loss of my vision? Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yes.
honeymoon's over.
Yeah, oh yes. After being around people that have lost their sight and realizing how capable you can be once you take on all of the new things that you need to learn to live, I think I would almost be in a better condition with no sight than I am with my limited sight. Because with my limited sight, everything I'm exposed to, I don't get enough information to get the whole story. But people with no sight use their senses. As long as I have vision, I rely on my vision. When they stop relying on their vision, the whole world opens up and they are every bit as capable as they were before they lost their vision.
Some of us use adaptive technology like Zoom Text, JAWS, or our phone with our apps. What tools do you use?
I'm old and I've been resistant to technology. So what I use is a closed circuit TV, and I use a handheld electronic magnifier that I can take with me when I go places to be able to read, say, to the grocery store, to the department store, things like that. But one of the adaptive equipment that I most rely on is the talking books that come from the Library of Congress.
So I have one more question. What is your Mr. Magoo story?
Oh, I have many.
Can you tell us one, the best one?
Do you have about 4 minutes?
Sure.
All right. In 2011, my one granddaughter was graduating from high school, but she lived in a different state. So I flew out for her high school graduation. And when I was getting ready to come home, I was going to be working for the summer orientation program back to back. So I went into Portland, Oregon airport with my white cane and thought, I could do this. And the first thing I saw was a whole bunch of computers where they wanted me to punch in my information before I got my boarding pass. I couldn't see the screens on the computers, so I'm standing with my white cane and debating if I can push ahead and get into the boarding pass line and not make too much huff about it. And along comes this man and his wife, and they say, "We can see that you're sitting and thinking, is there a way we can help you?" And so I told them my story about not being able to see the computer screens. And they saw my white cane, and they said, "If you'll trust me with your passport, I'll punch in all the information that you need." So I thought about it, and it was not safe to give a stranger in the airport my passport, but I decided to go with it and hope that things would work out all right. He punched in all my information, took me up to the boarding pass area, gave me back my passport, took me through security, found my gate for me, bought me a cup of Starbucks coffee, and he says that he and his wife just came back from Africa, that they're Doctors Without Borders, and they were glad to be able to do a good deed. So I'm sitting feeling, this is good. So I get on my plane and I go to Helena, Montana. And when I get off the plane, I'm following along with the rest of the passengers to receive their baggage at the baggage claim. And I've got my white cane in front of me and I'm going down the ramp to the baggage claim. And I'm thinking, I wonder how I can get to Carroll College where I was going to be working from the airport. Okay? So I tootled over to the Avis rent-a-car place, and I was going to ask him if there was public transportation to Carroll College. I get a tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and there's this mid-20-year-old man, big and buff in camel army uniform. And he says, I watched you get on the plane at Portland, and I watched you get off the plane at Helena, and I thought it was really a curiosity, you walking around with your white cane without anybody with you. But when you went to Avis Rent-A-Car, I couldn't resist coming and seeing if you were going to drive to where you wanted to go to.
Oh, that is so epic.
So he says, I'm just back from Afghanistan. This is my first day home, and I live in Helena, Montana, and I have a car here at the airport. Can I drive you to Carroll College? And again, being a woman all alone, blind, I'm thinking, this isn't safe. This is pushing your good luck too far. So there he stood, and I'm deciding back and forth. You know, I could lose my life. He's the wrong kind of guy. I went for it. He drove me to Carroll College. He unloaded my baggage. He said, you made my day, and off he went. So that's my Magoo story, is I walked through the world as a blind lady and met strangers everywhere that were willing to just, and I made their day too, on top of it.
Thank you for such an inspiring testimony.
Yeah.
Is there one last word that you would like to invite anyone to come to the M.A.B?
Yes. The M.A.B is where visually impaired people, for me, where visually impaired people can meet other people that live like lives, and we can learn that we're not the oddball in the community anymore. We're among other people that have a visual impairment. And for me, that was big, that I was exposed to other people.
Donate now to the M.A.B. Please donate. The Montana Association for the Blind. A blind man is holding his white cane and listening to his smartphone. A pair of blind friends are using the bus to go to the M.A.B. Find a chapter near you. A blind elderly woman is using a magnifying headset and headphones to read her cell phone that she received using the Blind Elder Loan Program at the M.A.B. An instructor is teaching a blind woman in a wheelchair how to cook on a stovetop oven. A mobility instructor is teaching a blind woman how to use a white mobility cane. A blind college student is standing in front of the university wearing dark sunglasses and holding his mobility cane. He received a scholarship from the M.A.B. A blind man is sitting down reading Braille at the Montana Association for the Blind. www.mabsop.org. Phone 406-442-9411. Email us at mabadmin@mabsop.org.